And this house just ain't no home anytime she goes away.
I gotta hold it for the good part, Seth.
And I know.
See, we love our music is the thing. We're having fun talking about all things home garden and life improvement. Cindy Dole here, Home Wizards, and we got a little sunshine theme because the solar power conference that was going on in Los Angeles this past week, 30,000 people, all converging on the LA Convention Center. Something's going on with solar, and Leesa Lee is here. Her company is called EnphaseEnergy.com in the Bay Area. Leesa, tell everybody about what you guys, you're doing something really smart. You don't make the solar panels, but you make them smarter.
That's right. So we have what's called a microinverter system. If you look at a solar energy system, it consists of two major parts. There is, of course, the solar panels, which we're all familiar with. The other part is really kind of the brains of the system. It's the technology called the inverter. And what it does is it kind of maximizes the amount of energy that you can get out of your solar system. So it really kind of takes the solar panels and makes them smarter. And up until recently, the inverter used to be one central box, kind of the size of, maybe like a milk crate, and it would sit on the side of someone's house. It would be installed there. And like a mainframe computer, all of the power that came from the solar panels would get funneled into this one device, and it would basically do its thing, which is fine, except that it wasn't very efficient. You alluded to the Christmas light effect earlier, and what that is kind of like, as the name implies, like with old-style Christmas lights, if one bulb went out, the whole string would go out. Well, with the old traditional solar systems, if you got any obstruction on one of your solar panels, in fact, it could be one corner of a solar panel, and it could be a leaf, it could be bird droppings, it could even be just shade from a nearby tree. That could actually affect the power of your entire solar array. It could actually drop it significantly.
Really? Like how does it affect? I mean, it wouldn't produce enough solar juice for the day, or what would it do?
Yeah, it would basically mean that the amount of energy that you got out of your solar system could drop significantly. And it's just the nature of the technology and the way that they're all strung together. It is actually very similar to a Christmas light effect where, they're all strung together in series, and when one goes out, it kind of stops them all. And so what we have is a new technology, and as the name implies, a microinverter. Instead of one big box that sits on the side of your house, we have very small inverters that are basically the size and shape of a paperback book. And there's one for each solar panel, and it sits actually underneath the solar panel. And what that means is that now each solar panel operates independently. They become independent power producers. So if one does get affected, then it's only that one. The rest of them keep chugging along as much as they like.
And we can monitor it through our computer too, right?
You can monitor it through your computer. We have we basically connect your solar panels to the internet. So you can watch it on your computer, even on your phone.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
You thought we were busy tweeting and Facebooking. I am all over monitoring by phone my solar panels.
Well, you know what it is, Cindy. It's the whole eco-bling, right?
Yeah.
Show off their solar. So it's a great way to be able to do that at a cocktail party.
That's great.
But it also means that you have a lot more flexibility. You can put solar panels anywhere on your home. It used to be that you'd have to have all the solar panels on one side of your roof. If you think about all the solar arrays you've ever seen or you've ever driven by, they're always sort of on one roof face, which is fine if you have a large roof. But sometimes you have a roof that's kind of broken up. So when they're all independent, you can sprinkle them all over the place. It's much more reliable because, again, you don't have one panel taking out the lot. And so it's really changing, the way the industry is moving.
It's very cool.
From the old way to sort of the micro way.
And by the way, again, their website to check this out is Enphaseenergy.com. But what if we did have these solar panels and they were spotted about, and then all of a sudden we realized that we needed to have our roof replaced or repaired? Then what happens?
Sure. So if you talk to any solar installer, they'll actually tell you that the first thing you should do when you're thinking about solar is to actually think about your roof, because you don't want to have to rip out your solar system to put it in your roof. So if you're anywhere close to needing a new roof, you should really try to do them both at the same time. It just makes a lot of sense. And what we're also seeing is that a lot of people who are in the roofing business are now starting to think about learning how to put in solar for that exact reason. It just they just go together.
So there's no way that we can just take a few of them off, and it
Sure.
A bracket of some kind?
Yeah, they sit, solar panels, and the solar system sits on what are called railings, which are, sort of like these long racks that get placed on the roof. And you could certainly take them out and redo your roof and put them back on.
I see.
But obviously the most efficient thing is just to do it at the same time.
And would you recommend solar as a DIY project ever? I mean, it sounds pretty overwhelming and daunting to me, but I'm just wondering.
There's certainly people who do put in their own solar. We do recommend that, of course, that when you're doing the electrical hookups, that you have a certified electrician to do that. Sometimes people will participate in the setup of their solar where they work with an installer to kind of help. A lot of it is, your classic kind of construction and installing of a device. So that's certainly something a lot of people are qualified to do. But in general, we unless you're very comfortable and if you have an electrician nearby, we definitely recommend that.
Don't mess with it. Well, great to have you. I mean, you really have given us some good insight, Leesa Lee. Thank you. EnphaseEnergy.com. And boy, we're looking forward to some more advances in the next 5 years. This is exciting.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Look forward to seeing you next time at the next solar conference, and keep it tuned because it's fun learning about these new innovations, isn't it? Up next, I'm going to talk about some great ideas to preserve that pumpkin of yours, because you have your pumpkin carved, don't you? Or maybe you're thinking of using some of those great stencils. That and more. Home Wizard Cindy Dole. We're back after this. Welcome back. Cindy Dole here. This is Home Wizards. We have a few minutes left to talk about what else but Halloween and getting ready for that pumpkin. Now, you already probably have the pumpkin, right? You know what kind of pumpkin I want to get? I want to get one of those fairy tale pumpkins. Have you heard about it? Just Google fairy tale pumpkin. They're the cutest darn things. They look like a pumpkin that should be on a little carriage that you'd see in Cinderella. I mean, it has that little curved shape with a couple two tones, and it's just the darlingest kind of pumpkin. But they have other ones, too. I love the white pumpkins and the blue pumpkins and, of course, your standard old pumpkin. But the one thing everyone always wants to know, how do you preserve the pumpkin? How do you keep that jack-o'-lantern fresh? Well, you want to make sure that it's going to stay dry, and you don't want it to shrivel it up, right? You want to keep it in a cool spot, out of direct sunlight. That's one of the most important things. A good idea, too, is to spray it with this product called Wilt Proof, and it's PRUF, something you can get in the hardware stores. Another thing I like to do, if you are carving your pumpkin, you might want to just get out some Vaseline. This is a little trick that a lot of people use, especially florists, is that after you've carved out the eyes and the nose and the mouth and so forth, you just kind of line that inner part where there's the meat, if you will, of the pumpkin with some Vaseline. And something about it seems to keep it firm longer. And then another good idea is to drape the entire pumpkin with a damp towel. Try to protect it from animals, of course, that might be tempted to take a bite. And then if it's getting chilly in some of these nights, I mean, we hardly ever really have to worry about frost, but every now and then it gets kind of chilly. Try not to leave it outdoors on those nights that are colder than usual. Now, if you're still thinking about how to decorate your pumpkin, I really highly recommend you check out the stencils. We talked with Better Homes and Gardens a few weeks back, and I've got, they're free, downloadable. I got the link on my website, cindydole.com. It's just really a neat way of doing it. Instead of carving, you're using this little tool after you've downloaded this design. So it's kind of like carving, for dummies, carving to the dots. And you can do everything from finding your dog breed or cat breed that you love, to they have celebrities. They have President Obama. They have, Michael Jackson. They have witches and goblins and everything that you can think of all right there. And just go to cindydole.com and you'll see the link to their free downloadable stencils, thanks to Better Homes and Gardens. Now, speaking of Halloween, too, we've been talking to a lot of folks over the past few weeks who are all into these Halloween haunts. When you go to the site, I have have many of them there. You can listen to the past shows. One of them, the Horror on Frankel Street, opens up tonight. We already heard us talking to the folks over in Pasadena. That's going on tonight, the Old Town Haunt. You can check out oldtownhaunt.com. But there's so many of these great little tours that begin now, and they go on all the way through Halloween. I almost said Thanksgiving. Halloween, for you to see, to take the kids, and they'll tell you what to expect. So go to my website and you'll find those links. And wasn't that fun learning about how the landscape lights and all these different colors can really create that spooky look for your Halloween decor. Now, speaking of spooky, next Saturday we're going to really, really get scared, because have you ever wondered that something is going on in your home? I mean, the lights are going on and off. Not a light bulb that's dying, but maybe there's a ghost. It's our Haunted Home Special with poltergeist and ghost hunters, because it will be the eve of Halloween. So we're going to talk with all these folks about how do you know if maybe there's a ghost in your house, and then what do you do? We're going to talk with one paranormal expert who has interviewed countless celebrities about their experiences of the unexplained in their home. Home Wizards on Halloween Eve. I hope you don't miss it. Until then, have an awesome weekend. Thanks so much for checking us out and sharing your world with me on this Saturday. We'll see you next time from 2 to 4. And until then, remember this: the key's under the mat. Bye-bye.
Our house, it has a crowd. There's always something happening, and it's usually